Hey, 7th grade. Today we're going to start with a review of the circulatory system, and then we're going to move on to learning about the first part of how blood flows through your heart. So, like we did yesterday and have done before, go ahead and grab a piece of paper or something to write with. I'm going to ask a question. You're going to pause the video and answer it, and then unpause it for the answer. So the first question, what is the function of the circulatory system? Go ahead and pause the video, answer it, and then unpause. So, if you wrote to move blood throughout the body, you're not totally correct or incorrect, but we do need to be more specific because, yes, it does bring blood to the body, but it's what's in that blood that makes the difference. So, they bring oxygen to the body, so to the muscles, our organs, things like that, and then they take the carbon dioxide out. Okay, and that should make sense to you because we breathe in oxygen. That oxygen then goes to the rest of our body. And then when we breathe out, we're breathing out carbon dioxide. So we're getting rid of that carbon dioxide that the circulatory system is bringing out. Next question, what are the different parts of the circulatory system? Go ahead and pause and then unpause when you're ready. So, different parts. We have the heart, the lungs, and the vessels. And the vessels are the veins and the arteries. Remember, in your blood pressure activity, you defined veins and arteries. Arteries bring the blood away, so they carry the oxygen to the rest of the body. Veins bring the blood back, and they carry the carbon dioxide to get rid of. Oh. Next question, where in the body is the circulatory system located? Go ahead and pause that, write down your answer, and then unpause. It's located everywhere, and the reason it's located everywhere is because the vessels go everywhere, all the way down to your toes, to your fingertips, in your head, everywhere. What are the 4 vital signs? So think to the activities that we've been doing. What are the 4 vital signs? Go ahead and pause, and then unpause when you're ready. So we have temperature, blood pressure, heart rate, which we did activities with all those. And then the last one is respiration rate, which is your breathing rate. If you have any questions on the circulatory system, please let me know. We're going to move on to our next activity. And we're actually going to take some notes. So if you can go to Google Classroom and open up the student flow of blood to the heart, and then make a copy for yourself, this is where you'll be taking notes. What you'll see on the video is my screen, which will have this completely filled out, and then you'll fill in your answers. So if you want to do a side-by-side of the video and then your notes, that might be an easy way to do this. Okay, so go ahead and get that set up, and then we will go through some notes. Okay, so before we start, the heart's divided into 2 sections, the right side and the left side. And it's kind of confusing because if you raise your right hand right now, so everybody by yourself, raise your right hand and wave it, okay? And you point to what you would think is the right side of the heart, so point to like right here. You would think that that's the right side of the heart. It's actually not. The right side is over here. Okay, because when they say right and left side, they're talking about how it's oriented in your body. So if you turned your computer screen around and put it against your chest, this side would actually be on your right side. Okay, so however you need to remember that, please do, because that is the biggest mistake I see is people thinking that this is the right side just because when you wave your right hand, that's the side that it goes to. But really the right side is over here. Okay, so we're going to start by taking a look at the right side of the heart. The first thing that happens is blood enters through the inferior and superior vena cava. So the superior is up here, superior means above, and inferior is down here. Inferior means below, okay? And there are different veins that connect to these, and they just bring blood to the heart. The next step, and if you look at these arrows, you can kind of see, so this hole right here is where the inferior vena cava comes in. This hole right here is where the superior vena cava comes in. And this picture is actually a cross section for the most part. So if you took like the main part of the heart and cut it in half, this is kind of what you would see on the inside. So blood drops into the right atrium. The right atrium is the first chamber of the heart. If you watch that video from the blood pressure, they went into the first chamber, or they talked about the first chamber. That's the right atrium. The next thing it does is it goes through the tricuspid valve. So these white V-shaped things are the valves. And remember, valves keep the blood moving in the correct direction. So it allows blood to go from the right atrium to the right ventricle, and it prevents blood from going from the right ventricle to the right atrium. Okay, so it goes from the right atrium to the right ventricle through the tricuspid valve, and this right ventricle is the second chamber of the heart. This blood, all right here, does not have oxygen in it. It has carbon dioxide. Okay, so you'll need to know that this is all carbon dioxide filled blood, which means that it has come from your body. Okay, it's picked up the carbon dioxide and now it's going to try to get rid of it. So the next step is it's going to leave the right ventricle and it's going to go through the pulmonary valve. Couple things. The pulmonary valve prevents it from going back to the right ventricle, so it keeps it moving. Pulmonary refers to lungs. So anytime you hear the word pulmonary, it has to do with lungs. Okay, so if you know pulmonary has to do with lungs, and valve keeps blood moving that way, you could probably guess where this blood is going to go. Okay, it is going to go through the pulmonary artery and go into the lungs to get oxygen. Artery, remember, brings blood away from the heart. The pulmonary artery is the only artery in your entire body that carries blood with carbon dioxide in it. Otherwise, the other arteries in your body carry oxygenated blood to the rest of your body. So this pulmonary artery takes blood away from your heart to your lungs. Once it's in the lungs, it will get rid of the carbon dioxide when you breathe out. And then when you breathe in the oxygen, your blood will pick up that oxygen and come back into the heart. Okay? This is all we're going to do for today. Just focus on the right side. What I would like you to do for homework is I would like you to read through these notes a couple times, making sure you are understanding what all of the words mean. So, making sure you know what superior and inferior means. Making sure you know what the names of the first two chambers of the heart are. Making sure you know what a valve is. Making sure you know what pulmonary refers to. And then making sure you know what artery is. Okay? So your homework is to go through this, making sure you're understanding the different words. Our next class, we will go through this left side, and then we will review some vocabulary. If you have questions on the right side, please let me know. We will do a lot of review with this because I know it's a lot of information. So if you're feeling a little overwhelmed right now, please don't. It'll get easier the more we do it.